Hi, everyone. I am hoping we are live. Yes, we are. Good afternoon, everyone. And we are here again in conversation with Divya and me. And the guest we have for you today is Piper Harris. And I think I'm going to let Piper introduce herself in a bit. But just to give you all a heads up, Piper is our author for Coach Wisdom Volume 2. Her chapter is the 19th chapter in the book. I'm just confirming it. I'm sorry. I've been reading
ninth chapter.
It's the 9th chapter, not the 9th.
Yes, you were close. You were close.
And we'll talk a lot about that. We'll talk a lot about Piper in just a bit. So Divya, would you like to just take over?
I would. So you guys are always going to hear me. You're going to hear me for the first sort of 30 seconds of every one of these lives with each of our authors, just saying a huge thank you, not only to our audience and our viewers and our supporters, but also a heartfelt thanks to each of our authors. So Piper, today you get this heartfelt thanks from me just because, and from Snehal, just because, like I said, even yesterday with Shraddha, as much as Snehal and I are the creators and sort of the compilers of Coach Wisdom, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for you and the other coach authors that have so beautifully contributed stories, words of wisdom, tips, industry best practices, and it's all come together as this beautiful collection because of people like you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. What a great introduction.
So, Piper, again, without Snehal or I giving you too much of an introduction, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I first and foremost am a wife and a mom of two extraordinary little boys, 10 and 12. I guess they're not so little anymore, but they are my heartbeat. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm a women's success coach. And really what I do is I empower mid-level women into heightened leadership. I, for so many years, was stuck just kind of in that mid-level of leadership, and it was frustrating. I couldn't seem to get those promotions. And so I broke out on my own. I caught that entrepreneurial bug, and I've been running my own companies for going on 9 years now. And with that, I have, as you'll read in my chapter, a woven history of working with people, whether it was as a counselor or as a coach.
Amazing. And you have, I was going to touch on this as well, because I know you have a background in counseling.
I do.
Now, a lot of people often mistake coaching for being counseling. And I'm quite sure that even now, with you sort of making this change where you've gone from counseling into coaching, you must get that a fair bit as well. Do you?
I do. And, and I'm very particular, especially with how I deal with my clients, because I absolutely value the individuals that have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and 10 plus years to get their doctorates, something that I couldn't finish myself. And so what I find, what the commonality is number one, we all have a heart for people. And number two, there are similar techniques in the sense that I use motivational interviewing while I'm working with my coaching clients. I used motivational interviewing when I was a counselor, because it's a fabulous technique and it's client focused. Yeah. But it is very different. And I think for me, because I spent so many years as a counselor, I really learned very, like tightly to hold on to boundaries, I guess I could say, with clients and that sort of thing. So it's moving into coaching sphere. I understand, okay, I'm setting this boundary with this client, and I humbly tell them, this is not where we go. We keep here in the moment and working on your future. So it is very different. And like I said, I absolutely value and respect the individuals that went to school for psychiatry, psychology. I am not that. I'm not trying to be that. I value and respect them very much.
And so how long, or where did your journey start then, from actually starting to just focus on women and mid-level sort of management, and where did it come from?
It's always been women. There was kind of a hiatus where I tried men, and nothing against men, but it just wasn't a good meshing. Gosh, it really has been woven through my entire career. I did start off with children and adolescents. And from there, I went into nonprofit management, and it always seemed kind to glom onto girls. And then it grew into women in the junior league when I was in Washington State. So state has always been very female focused. But my drive now as a women's success coach really has come from a place of a fire in my belly. So many of my clients coming to me just defeated and just why isn't this working? And I just want to empower them because I've reaped the reward of breaking out on my own. Whether they want to do that, they don't have to, but I want to teach them, hey, we can refine your leadership skills. You are worthy. You can be appreciated and valued. So let's work on that. And so it's really come from just my history of working with women and really just that fire in my belly of just sick of women just not being valued to go into management.
What does empowerment mean to you? Because I know that's a lot of people, a lot of coaches you will hear nowadays as well, using things like, empowerment, something's transformational, fulfillment, all these sort of words. But what does empowerment mean to you? What does empowerment mean to a lot of the clients that you work with?
Yeah. I know empowerment's kind of one of those buzzwords right now, isn't it? It's everywhere.
I love it. And it is. I mean, I use it myself. It's just that I have found, even with working with men versus working with women, right? There's a different meaning of what empowerment is to them, right? Any light?
The empowerment for me, for myself, and when I see the women I coach feel it, it's discovering it on their own. I am not here to tell you how to get there. I'm not telling you how it's done. It's just that moment that I see them go, wait a second. It's a whole, like I'm getting chills thinking about it. It's just this whole physical change. You can see it physically come over them. And then you see them reach for things that they weren't before. They have confidence. I was going to
say, it's just a confidence that
it's confidence
to be able
and it manifests.
Yeah.
It's a very deep confidence and it manifests in everything. And so it might be as much as speaking up for the first time in a business meeting. It might be, hey, I'm going to wear such and such because I'm going to, it's just, it really does manifest in a different way, but it's how they carry themselves. It's how their tone changes and they look me in the eye and and then what happens, and this is the crazy thing about people that are empowered and do carry that internal deep confidence, then you start seeing other people start following them. And that's what empowerment is. It's not just about you, it's about what are you, breathing and dreaming into other people's lives. That's what empowerment is. It's something that you give to others as well.
Okay. Thank you. And what's your chapter about? Chapter 9.
So woven history, I had so much fun with this. It really is a reflection of where this crazy journey of mine has started and to where I am today. And what was wonderful about this chapter is I was able to share client stories, which was a little nerve-wracking for me because you always want to honor every single story. So as I was writing them, obviously I'm not giving all the details, but I prayed through the whole thing, like, let me honor just the little snippets. And so it was really fun to show the progression. And I think the big thing for me is I think a lot for myself, went to school to be a counselor, did that for so many years. And then I stopped doing it. And then I went to here and I went to here. And in the midst of it, it felt very discombobulated and nothing fit. But then when you get outside of it, you can see that thread of what I was called to, which I believe is people. I grade school called to do this. But what was wonderful is I could see that woven thread of something I was called to do it's in me. And so it was reaffirming to me too, having all these different jobs, different positions as a coach, and saying, I was still following my journey. I was just given the opportunity to do it in a lot of different areas.
And that's actually, so for some of you who've already read the book, or you may have already crossed chapter 9, I know some of you are hopefully only going to be like downloading it today because we are doing a free promotion for just a day where you guys can download it. When you get to Piper's chapter, you'll actually see that it is written in sort of like a story kind of form. And I again, very, very enjoyable, very different. And within your sections there, you've got sort of things like listen, filtering thoughts, right? Finding balance, learn, stand firm, perseverance. grow, and woven history. Is that
Right.
everything?
Yep. I think that's every, I don't know, there's so many. You guys
But
are
it's
telling me
very
like kind of a less, Piper, less.
yeah, no. But it was the thing is you're touching on so many different elements, right?
Yeah.
And again, when Snehal and I say, you know, that every chapter is different, again, Piper, I mean, your chapter is also very, very differently written to even that many of the authors in Coaching Wisdom Volume 1. So really quite refreshing. How was your experience actually, you know, writing all of this and putting it together?
It was so fun. I've just loved getting to know you all, and also I have to say thank you, because I know that I am a let's get it done, let's do it now, and so you guys have been wonderful with me, and that's me. I am a high achiever, and I'm like, let's go. So thank you for being so patient with me. But it's been a wonderful experience, and again, it's just been so affirming of where I am today. Every single story of my life has led me here. I don't regret anything. It's been a wonderful experience. And what's so fun too is getting to know all the other coaches. I was always blessed to meet you two, but now it's just like my globe of friends. I mean, it's just wonderful to be a part of that. I never would have guessed, even if you had asked me, gosh, last year before, would this take place? I would have said, no, are you kidding me?
Well, I know, because I think if I recall correctly, I put something on LinkedIn. I think, you know, when
Yes.
we were sort of posting, and whilst we'd gotten a lot of attention from Coach Wisdom Volume 1, a lot of people wanting to be part of it, searching for the right person. And I mentioned this at the launch party the other night, right? The energy and finding the right energy of working with different coach authors and getting everyone on the same page was really important to both Snehal and I. So when you had actually asked, you know, oh, you know, are there still spots, and then we all connected. And I think you just gave us little snippets of, you know, we asked you, we said, okay, give us an idea of what your chapter is going to be about. And then you started to sort of open things up. And we were like, oh, actually, you know what? This could be really interesting. So then we kind of explored it. I do want to ask you something else here, because where you said, you know, you're a high achiever and you'll go, right? There are going to be obviously people or women, even clients that you have worked with or you're currently working with. They might want that. I mean, there may be people listening saying, I want to be a high achiever, I want to be that go-getter as well. But how do I start? And what would you tell them?
Just start. I think that's the thing too. We get wrapped up in the idea of we define what we should be right in that moment. Like, this is where I'm going to be, and it has to be way up here. And I have to calm myself down. And it really is, I mean, practice bettering yourself every day, practice stepping into fear every single day. You just,
which again, people are very reluctant to do, because anything that is fearful is out of our comfort zone. And then we're like, why would we do that?
Yeah,
just
dive. Yeah, it is, and nothing. It's not comfortable. I mean, I've done a million Facebook Lives. I'm still nervous.
Yeah,
you know, you just have to dive in, and I think that's the biggest thing. And don't forget, if you feel called to the field of coaching, that's wonderful, amazing. Stop right there. Don't think about, well, I don't have this. Well, I wasn't a counselor like Piper, or I didn't do this. I wasn't this huge executive. Just stop right there. If you feel that as a calling in your life, fabulous. That's transmission ends. Stop with, you have to clear out all the other noise, and then start developing yourself, you know, become the professional that stands out. Just, you have to lean into that discomfort and that fear.
So what's next for you, Piper? What else do you have sort of in the pipeline?
Gosh, you know, that's such a good question. I don't know. I am working
again. Can I just say, guys, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with actually not knowing. Like, a million times, I used to hate this question being asked. Now I quite like asking it to other people, just to say. But I used to hate it because I'm like, I don't know. But it's sort of all in the right kind of timing, right?
It is. And that's the thing. Even the other day, I was recalling I'm turning 41 in a week. And it's funny because, of course, I'm reflecting on this last year of finally, I didn't die my first year of 40s, you know? And so it's been this process of reflecting on a year, and then also reflecting my time with you all. And all I know that's coming is it's going to be great. And I truly believe that I'm going to affect change, and that because of women's courage to come work with me, they're going to affect change. It's going to be, I know I'm going to start a chain reaction. And that to me is so exciting. So, I mean, what's upcoming for me is Poema, my coaching program. Poema is Women's Success. We're gonna cause a chain reaction, and that's, who knows where that's gonna go, right?
And do you work mainly with sort of one-on-one, or do you do sort of group coaching? Because I know you were doing something.
I've done all kinds of stuff, right? So I love one-on-one. Absolutely adore one-on-one coaching, because I do have different facets of what I do. So I have the one-on-one coaching, but then I also work with women-led organizations, typically nonprofits, because my background is also a nonprofit. So I have a really good handle on that. So I can work with organizations and help them, grow and change, do all of that. And then I have my one-on-one coaching that I do with clients as well.
What's your preference? There's always a preference.
I know. Gosh, I love the challenge of working with an organization, because it's a totally different kind of challenge, because you have 15 personalities, and the navigation of all of that. I love that. I'm very strategic. So I love seeing things and, okay, we're going to go there. We're going to go, I just love that aspect. But then when it comes to one-on-one, the fact that someone trusts me to invite me into their life is so humbling. So I would say one-on-one. I've been doing it for so long, and all of my stories you'll read in there, it is one-on-one with those individuals that have absolutely affected change in my life. So it's, one-on-one's my heart for sure. Yeah.
And how do you think you're received, or how do you think coaching is received at an organizational level? Because I always find that, and again, we've had conversations about this, compared to one-on-one, where a client is actually already choosing to work with you, or they've already decided at some level, okay, I feel like I need a coach, or I'm going to be the right coach for me, Stan would be the right coach for me. So they've already somewhat decided that, okay, I want to proceed with this, right? Whereas at an organizational level, whilst the CEO or HR or stakeholders, whoever it is, whilst they this, the people that you're going to end up working with are not the ones that are typically seeking out coaching, or that they don't even think they need a coach, right? So do you find that is apparent even in the sort of circles, the organizations that you work with, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I do. I mean, and again, that's what's hard with organizations. I've been actually talking with a nonprofit in the area, and they're very well known all over the US, but this chunk of them in my county, they're really struggling. Some of the individuals recognize they're struggling. The top individuals don't want to recognize that they're struggling. And so it's being brought in with the board of directors and all of those things, and trying to work through that it's hard, because some people want me, some people don't want me. Now, I think the benefit is going into a nonprofit. Nonprofits are hard. And I think it helps that I have that background as well, that I know what it feels like to be running a nonprofit. So, but it is a really difficult balance when you go into organizations, because sometimes they don't want you. But it is really thrilling when you see their aha, or we start implementing things, and then it all kind of starts, cascading, water falling down. They go, oh, okay. So that's pretty amazing to see as well.
And even for yourself, going from this kind of, employee to entrepreneurial journey, that's what happened for you. That's certainly what happened to me. And again, to a lot of our coaches or a lot of our readers who are actually thinking about, making that transition. Because it's not just coaches. This is the other thing. Coach Wisdom Volume 1, it was very much addressed towards coaches. Volume 2 is not. Right? Really for anyone that's looking for something different in their life, right? So as far as any of our viewers, any of our readers that are maybe sitting here right now and thinking, actually, you know what, that's me. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I want to go from employee to entrepreneur. What would you tell them? It's a very scary thing. People,
and here's the thing, and this is what I tell anybody that says it to me. In fact, I was at a board meeting the other day, and when a woman came in and she was saying, I'm stepping out on my own. She goes, what advice can you give me? And I said, pray a lot. because I'm really not going to shine it up.
Yeah.
Being an entrepreneur is the hardest, most heart-wrenching, sad, lonely thing I have ever done.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, it is also the most exhilarating and empowering and beautiful thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
So you just have to be prepared, that it's not going to work out like you think it's going to work out. Get your ducks in a row, please. I actually had to close down my very first business, humiliated, had to give thousands of dollars back to client. It was humiliating. It was one of the most humiliating points in my life. And so get your ducks in a row. Don't don't think that you have to spend money to bring money in. If you can shoestring it, speaking from experience. But just be prepared, and you have got to have someone that's supporting you. If your spouse doesn't support you, you should not do this. If I didn't have such a supportive husband and family, there's no way I could be doing what I'm doing. It's such hard work, because it's hard, it's long hours. They see me cry, I mean, it's just very difficult. But again, when you start, I'm actually just now almost 9 years going, oh, I'm feeling it. 9 years of different, my company's kind of, changing over the years. I'm finally feeling that, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm not there, but I'm getting it.
That's good. That's really good. That's really good. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of what Coach Wisdom has always been about for Snehal and I is, and another reason for why, guys, we even connected with Piper, was this willingness and openness to share and actually be raw and honest about life and about even the struggles, because that's often the thing that I think people don't get to hear. So when again, they're going through something, they want to start something new off, right? They're going through, again, even if it is a coach, actually thinking, okay, I'm going to just do this full time.
Yeah.
That tendency to give up quickly because you didn't get that first client, or somebody didn't buy into what it was that you're saying, or you've left a job and you've gotten so used to your paycheck, and then now it's your first month and that paycheck didn't come in, and yet you haven't got the clients to supplement your income yet as well, and you already start doubting. You already start thinking like, oh, did I make the right decision? It's too hard.
I still do it now. I still doubt everything now.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a life of an entrepreneur.
And that's why I'm so pleased that you were just so open and candid with sharing that, right? Because again, those are the things that a lot of people don't get to hear. But they just see the happy things, they see the lives, they see that, oh, this is going well, that's going well. So they must be really, really super successful. Not knowing that sometimes, you're thinking, okay, I've got to build my pipeline. I need a pipeline of clients. I've got to keep going. It doesn't stop here, right?
It doesn't. And they don't see, how many times I've been crying right before live because it's scheduled. They don't see, I mean, we give you the best, right? They don't see right before or right after. I mean, we're human beings too. We're going through a lot ourselves.
No, thank you so much. Piper, is there anything else that you'd like to tell our viewers, the audience, readers? What would you like to say?
I just want to encourage everyone to look at their history. There is a woven thread. Every one of us has it. And you just have to really kind of peel through it. I know sometimes we can get down in the dumps and we don't, there's nothing there. There is something there. And if you can find that thread in your history and just keep pulling it, you'll see how it's so woven into who you are. And if you can grasp a hold of that, you can weave your own future. You can weave what you desire. You really can. And it's your lifeline. I mean, that's why I loved writing this chapter with you all, because it's part of it's my lifeline too, to remind me, okay, keep going. So everybody, I want everybody to know, I think a lot of the things that I shared, we all face them in our lives, whether an entrepreneur, a mom, a coach, we all face them, but find your woven thread, and it'll be your lifeline.
And how can people connect with you?
I would love for them to head on to my website. It's piperharris.net. Made it super duper easy. And it's Poema Women's Success Coaching.
Okay. Piper, thank you so much. Guys, do check Piper's chapter out. Go check out her website. Connect with her if you would like to. She's absolutely a wonderful human being and a wonderful coach, and very, very willing to connect with as many of you who would like. So
Yeah.
please do reach out. And if you haven't downloaded your copy yet, guys,
Do it.
please download your copies. Yeah, do it. It's like I said, it's on a free promotion for you guys today. If you saw my Facebook post earlier, it says no hype, just free. So just go
That's
download
right.
it and enjoy it. Understand what
That's
all
right.
of this is about. Please,
Hey,
please,
and
please.
any of my old clients are watching, you better be downloading it, ladies. Come on.
Yes, the link is
Come
going
on.
to be. I'm going to put the link attached to the video. So just scroll down, hit the download button, and join us. When is our next one? When's our next live? Monday. Join us again live on Monday, guys, same time. And we're going to be interviewing Shreya.
Yeah.
Okay. Shreya, who's one of our bonus chapter authors. And she's going to be talking to us about marketing and social media marketing and lots of other things as well. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Piper, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
And have a great weekend. God bless you all.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.